Okay, welcome back to this basic guide for tabletop role-playing game players for Path of Exile. I'm going to try to keep this a little shorter. We're going to talk about skill gems and support gems and where to get them. So as you remember probably other videos, in Path of Exile, all the abilities, all the attacks, all the buffs, everything that you do is associated with a skill gem. And a skill gem is something you either buy from a vendor like Nessa, or you receive as a quest reward, or you get from the library from a vendor there. And over the course of the game, as you get higher and higher and higher levels, these vendors are going to offer higher and higher level skill gems. For example, there may be a particular skill gem that your build really wants to use that you can't get to like level 25 or something. So when you are first starting, however, there's pretty basic places to get skill gems. One, in the first area you get to, the first encampment, which is called these towns or encampments. Yes. Nessa is going to be the person on purchase items on tab 2 that has skill gems, and they will be different offering based upon what your class is, and the higher level you are, this list will grow, but will not be all encompassing. For example, you watch my other video where I'm using volley and crap like that. I mean, volley is in here, right? It's already at level 14. Even if I were to try to get, let's just type in zombie here. This is my necro. Even the basic zombie gem from Nessa is already rank 15, even though it's like a rank 1 gem, because I'm a high level character and I've come all the way back to Lion's Eyes Watch. Okay, so those types of vendors. So when you're traveling in the game world and when you're doing quests, you're going to give a situation like, here's 6 support gems, choose one. They're automatically going to be graduated over as well to the local vendor that handles wands and rings and flask, who also sells who also will sell abilities. Sometimes they will, sometimes they won't. Like when you first get to Act 2 and you're doing a bunch of quests and the lights go out and all this kind of stuff's happening, she won't sell any of these, but later on she will. So you can see the gems that she has offer, both support gems, which are always round, like completely round, and attack gems are usually faceted little jewels like this. She has these for sale. So all the towns in the game are good places for you to check every time you level up to see if any new gems, skill gems, what they're called, have become available. Now, if you really are an information hound and you really want to know exactly which ones you want, you can go to the web, obviously, and look through every skill gem and every support gem in the game. Let's just do that. These are all the red, green, and blue. Red on the left, green in the middle, blue on the right. Now remember, red is associated with strength. As you rank up the gem, it's going to have a higher strength requirement. Green is associated with dexterity. As you rank it up, it's going to have a higher dexterity requirement. Blue is associated with intelligence. As you rank up, you're going to have a higher intelligence to get to do it. You will see there's numbers here that say things like required character level at gem level 1. So it won't appear in a vendor until you're that level. That's kind of confusing. It's not the level required to use it. Let's say you're level 16. You can get Blink Arrow at level 10. And if it's also going to be, it's already a dexterity gem. So you can click on the ability and say Blink Arrow is something you really wanted to use. Open that up. You can read what it does here. Think about it. You can figure out what the progression, what it does, what the damage does as you rank it up, where you can first get it. There's certain recipes where you can create it, etc., etc. Now, the Caged Brute Act 1 quest, it's a reward option for the Ranger, the Duelist, and the Scion. And later on, you can see the Shadow, the Ranger, the Duelist, and then at Fixtures of Fate, it becomes optional again. So if you really want a particular gem as soon as possible, so you're not using some kinetic bolt or something like that you don't like, you can spend some time by just typing in skill gem at PoEWiki.net, and you can look through every single one in the game, and you could technically plan them out. Now, if you've never used any of them, that's going to be awkward as your first time playing the game. That's why I highly recommend at low levels, like levels 1 to 20, buy all of them at least once. You save all the scrolls of wisdom you have and just buy them in the very beginning and dink around with them. And then once you find one that has an interesting gameplay style, then think about how can you support it right? Because there's red support gems, green support gems, and blue support gems. And like I said in the class video, just because it's red doesn't mean it's limited to a marauder, all right? Anyone can have strength raised up to a particular level to use a particular red gem. You can even use a gem up to a certain point and never rank it up anymore, and you've had enough with it, like Vitality, which is an aura, which is a red gem. You may only want Vitality to go to level 10, and that's good enough health regeneration for you. You don't want to overrank it. So there's a lot of abilities in the game. And unlike World of Warcraft, where it's class-based, or Asheron's Call, or Dark Age of Camelot, Warhammer Online, Star Wars The Old Republic, Guild Wars 2, Elder Scrolls Online, every damn game that's out there, Throne of Liberty, Lineage, even Diablo. No one has a system where everyone has access to every possible ability and every possible support gem. The fun factor in the game is figuring out which ones you like and how to make them do as much damage as humanly possible so you can do harder and harder content. That's basically what it is. So the fun factor of the game is finding abilities that you think are cool and making them as powerful as possible and spending some time researching them. This is just a vendor for this. Let's go to the other two up here.
Yes.
And then find the combination that you like and then map out where it's going to be. Like maybe you want to do something that's got like greater volley support. You get a volley very early in the game, which makes multiple wand or bow projectiles shoot multiple versions of themselves, but you may want the greater volley one as well, because they'll do it spreads out to more additional projectiles, right? So as I said before, every town along the way is a good place when you first start picking these things up, where you're going to get them. There are particular parts of the game world where you have a vendor who has all of them, right? You aren't having to travel between all the different towns. And that's going to be in the library. Let's see, where is the library? I've forgotten. Is it Act 4? Is it 5? Is it Part 2? Act 7, 8, Lunaris, Bathhouse, 9, nope, 10. Oh, goodness, I've forgotten where it is because I don't rely anymore because I'm all in my hideout. I thought that the library was in one of these acts here. Barracks, Temple, there it is. I'm sorry. Apologies for the delay. I haven't had to rely on the library for like 4 or 5 years. The library is in Act 3, early part of the game. It's only level 30. When you come into the library and you get to Waypoint, there will be this guy named Siosa, and he will ask you to do a quest. So you run around, pull some candlesticks, and find 3 books and things like that. When you get it done, you come back to him. He will sell you. He will have a tab that has every gem in the game up until that point, right? Nothing higher than that. And then later on, when you finish the whole campaign, you can have an NPC that you place in your hideout called Lily Roth, who will have everything. The advantage of coming to, and when you're buying them from him, they're all ranked 1, like starting from scratch, right? If you buy them from the town vendors, they're pre-ranked based upon, let's go to Part 2, and we'll go to Lion's Eye Watch from Part 2 of the game, where it circles back around again to the beginning, right? And let's see, Lily Roth, there she is. She sells everything, but these are all at rank 1. If you go back, what a great quote, huh? That's actually a famous quote from a piece of poetry. Let's go to the Highgate in Act 9. It's not a 3-act structure now, is it?
There I was.
Nope, that's a vendor that sells gear. It's this girlfriend boyfriend thing here. Nope, they don't sell any here.
Good luck.
When you end up getting your own hideout and you finish the game, as far as the campaign goes, you put Lily Roth as an NPC in your hideout, and you can put her anywhere you want, and she will sell everything in the game at level 1. If you go back to some of the previous towns, not the ones I just showed you, you can buy them pre-ranked up. So if you really, really want to get a particular gem, you can go back to a town and get it. Now, how do you get Lily Roth in your hideouts? Say you got a basic hideout. When you go down here to edit, you hit edit, and you can actually look a list of everything possible, and you can type in the name of the NPC, like L-I-L. Let's do it this way. Edit. Let's go to decorations, and there's Helena, there's Lily Roth. You can take her and just place her over here, and there she is. You can edit her and change the direction that she faces. Make her face this way. Put her over here. And she will be, and then you can close the edit button, and then you have a Lily Roth located here. My other one's now moved. I like mine there where I had her before, so I'm just going to move her back. But all the vendors and the people you meet during the game can be NPCs that you can place in your hideout, and then they can be there for you at all times, so I can find all the gems. If I want to experiment with cheap gems, or once I've leveled a character high enough to complete the campaign, my low-level characters get access to this. Even the same thing with Commander Kirak, with mapping and things like that. So the NPCs in the game, let's turn editing off. The NPCs in the game will end up being vendors you can put in your hideout, which is really, really useful. Anyway, let's go back to our question we said a moment ago. We wanted to find where we could get greater volley. Let's check the Sarn encampment. Already ranked up to save us some hassle. They rank up by you killing them when the gem is equipped in any piece of gear, even on your offset. Nope, she doesn't have it.
Watch yourself.
Let's go back to 7. Let's try the bridge encampment. I can't remember who the vendor is for this. I think it's Yena.
I greet you.
Nope, she doesn't have it.
Be kind if you can.
Let's go to 6. This is going to be Lily Roth. She's going to have the pre-leveled one. So it looks like the first part of the game is going to have where the ones are pre-leveled. Okay, these are all level 1. So I'm mistaken there. Sorry for the mistake. I hadn't done this in years. All right, let's go to part 1 and Act 5 and go to the Overseer's Tower. And let's see who's our vendor for...
You're still alive.
Yep. Nope, not her.
Remember, we...
Valenta. Nope, she's just story. I think it's one of these. I can't remember which one it was exactly. It's been so long. Let's try Highgate again. I think Highgate may be the place where you can get pre-ranked gems if you're trying to try something new you haven't done before. And they'll already be your... Okay, these are like level 9. There it is. Greater Volley Support level 9. So you can also go back to any of the towns and search for it and then see what it costs and what the price of it is. Like in this situation, Greater Volley only costs 1 Orb of Alchemy. We'll do a separate video about all the currencies. So the thing that's going to be really important for you when you're starting to play is save enough currency up from the starter area so you can try out every single ability that you can do with your statistics. And as you get a point where, like, hey, I finally got like 25, 35, 55 strength, I can try out some strength gems and see what they look like. It's really important for you to try them all out, right? Because this is going to be the best way for you to get a sense of what spark like versus lightning tendrils versus freezing pulse, because they all have different styles of gameplay. They all have different types of spread. They all do different types of damage. They all have different types of support gem synergies. And that's basically what you're going to have to do. And when you play, you're going to rank these gems up, and then you get higher and higher and higher, and 20 is the highest. You can have bonuses to this. You're going to improve the quality of some of them as well. Like this Raised Zombie one, I've improved the quality. In the Labyrinth, you'll go to a font that allows you to transfigure a gem to a really weird one you can't buy off of vendors called Transfigured, or you can also raise the quality of your main attack ability or whatever you're using as well. That's something we'll talk about at a later date. But the gems are the attacks. They're the buffs. They're the debuffs. They're the spells. They're everything. There's nothing to do with your class. All your class does is determine your starter area in the passive tree and what your innate primary and secondary attribute is of progression as you level up. When you get to level 60, 70, 80, 90, at that point, you're tweaking everything to be just as hardcore as possible. You're, desecrate and detonate dead, or flame wall with kinetic bolt shooting through. You figured out all these interesting synergies, or you're like me, running zombies and Val skeletons and specters and, carrying golems, whatever you want to do. Whatever your thing is, your best way to make sure your thing is as good as possible is to get those linked pieces of gear, which allow you to add support gems like this, and the game's going to dish out gear randomly to you. You're going to have to spend some currency sometimes to make sure you reforge links and stuff. And then you're going to be in a situation where, like, okay, I just need a 4-link bow, and I can put these 3 support gems and this 1 primary attack, green gem in it, and then I can change the color with one of the currency items. I can change the links on it, etc. Because you can't just hope to one day find a 4-link, 3-link, 6-link piece of gear on a vendor. It's quite rare. Most of it's going to drop on the ground. And if you're playing with friends, you can play with friends. And every time you get something that's decent, you may want to find something and save it. Like you may want to find like, hey, I was leveling a character and I got this 3-link green foil and I can strip this down and craft this, or I got some 6-link chess pieces. I might want to reforge their links together, or I got this necromancer circlet, which is gray, and but maybe this is the one I want to use instead, and I want to use maybe an essence on it, like this essence up here, and maybe I want to put this maybe I want to put this on this one on this piece of gear here. So this will change it, jack it up, increase this accuracy rating of my minions, etc. like that. You can do it over and over and keep getting random effects. The crafting system is absolutely crazy. Anyway, so the gem system is a fantastic way for you to determine, as you learn all the abilities and what they do and watch videos and people are talking about totem this and aura that and all this kind of crap and on trigger and on hit and on death, that's when you're going to go, okay, I think that I want to do a slam ability that does physical damage and causes bleed and knocks enemies back, but I want to have lots of life regeneration and I want to block all the time and I want to be able to throw down vulnerability, so I want everything to take more physical damage. Go try it. You can take vulnerability like I did with this character. Let's see, where is our vulnerability? We've got it in here somewhere. There it is. Vulnerability, bone offering, which is not affecting it. Desecrate's not affecting it, but we have increased area effect support. So the increased area effect support means that the vulnerability ability and Desecrate are in a larger area, and it's good enough for what I needed it for. So for me, Desecrate, I was just throwing on the ground, which throws a bunch of corpses on the ground, or I wanted to put vulnerability down over here and have a really large circle, which reduces the physical resistances of all the enemies, so the zombies just destroy the shit out of them. So if I need to summon zombies real quick, I need some corpses, right? So I can put any kind of corpses on the ground I want, and they're going to be associated with the type of monsters that are dead in the area, so I could summon a new specter from them, or summon a different zombie from them, etc. Anyway, that's a crash course on skill gems. I hope that's helpful for you. But in the early days, experiment, experiment, experiment. Don't rush through the whole campaign like we're going to do on Friday. Don't just take your time and try to find the cool ability you like. And then when you find a cool ability that you like, go to YouTube and go find an ability about, hey, it could be from an old patch, Path of Exile, Caustic Arrow. There will be somebody who's made videos about this. It could be from 4 months ago, super tanky, high damage, Tenkai, whoever his name is, Zizaran, who's a really popular poison arrow build that he put together. His are quite complicated. He's an in-game hardcore nut. He's not like a normal human. A leveling guide for Caustic Arrow. Hey, that's a great one. It's only a year old. Even though this video guide is going to be complicated, you'll pick up information from it. Wow, you can learn about makeup too. So you can go to this guy's video. You can go watch the whole video, see what he has to say. He talks about different types of things. He's got 30,000 subscribers. He's been playing hardcore for a long time. Go check it out. That's also a great way to learn how things work in a game. So that's really the crash course I wanted to share with you, is find the ability that you like what it does. Find all the support gems that support it. Strive to get a 6-link chess piece and jam that ability up to the max. And then make sure your gear is also doing things to benefit you. Like, for example, right? Hey, +1 to maximum number of zombies and +1 to maximum number of skeletons. So when I want to start raising skeletons, I can have 10 on the screen at one time. Or, so that's a big benefit to me. I have 10 zombies, 1 carrying golem, 3 specters, and 10 skeletons, and I can have up to 30 skeletons if I hit Val Skeleton. So, I mean, that's the way to do it. That's why this is here. If I was using a bow like you saw on my champion, I can make Caustic Arrow do whatever the hell I wanted to do. So I'm not going to tell you which build to play. You can play anything you want, but that's kind of the crash course of what you want to look at when you're thinking about what I want to do in a game, how does the class match up to it, what kind of support gems do I need, what am I going to use now as a temporary ability until I get leveled up high enough to unlock that gem that's at a vendor in level 28, where in the game world can I get it, what's important to me. I need to get this block chance reduction support gem. It's only going to be available after I hit level 18. So this is what you got to do in the game. The game's not going to give you this stuff. There's too much of it. It's going to put it in the game world for you to go get currencies to buy it from the vendors. It'll be rewards from quests. And ultimately, once you finish the main campaign, Lily Roth will have everything you possibly need as a level 1 gem. Okay, that's the crash course today. Hope that helps you. Ask any questions below. Feel free to answer anything you want to know about. We'll talk to you soon. Take care.